Hello, my English 101 Section 83 12-week new colleagues. I have updated the homepage just slightly. Some of the stuff that's on there is the same. I threw a new meme on it so you could see that it was updated, and you should see an announcement from me as well. I did want to touch base with you just to go over a couple of things and sort of say hi. I threw on a jacket to make it look official. But in any case, I'm just delighted to be working with you. My name, of course, is Dr. Suzanne O'Brien. Suzanne O'Brien, nice to see you. And really, the content of your emails was just interesting, ambitious, moving. I'm just delighted to be able to work with you this semester, even though it's a little compressed. Speaking of compressed, I threw the schedule back on the homepage, and I think what I'll do too is I'll put it in one more place in that part of the module that says getting ready for the material that's due September 24th. I'll just add a link so you can open it back up and take a look at it, because that's what I'm working off of right now, my laptop, as it sits next to me, and I do these reminders from here. You will get a schedule that looks like this at the beginning of every unit/module that we do. As you can tell by looking at Simple Syllabus, there are 4 of them. And this one is really to take a kind of an assignment that everybody is familiar with, but make sure that we're moving from the land of college ready to the land of college level, and that there's always sort of a orientation period too, where I'm getting used to you, you're getting used to me, and so hopefully you will get information where you'll be able to do as well as you would like to do in the course, and I'm giving you enough feedback so you can do as well and feel comfortable as you possibly can. That's really my goal. I'm not the type of person who says nobody gets an A, but I'm also not the type of person who says everybody gets an A. It's not like that at all. And especially with this first one, it feels a little squunched. So even though it's familiar, and it looks to me like most of you definitely know your way around writing this kind of paper, just want to make a few things clear and also show you how we're kind of building off of that sequence with the other 3 modules that you will be doing. But I always give you a schedule that looks just like this at the beginning of every module. It always lays out the points. So even though I don't open everything right away, because I don't want people jumping the gun, the sequence is kind of important. I don't have a lot of free fun points, that sort of thing. It's really mostly you're so busy that you don't need extra busy work. I like to get right to what it is that you need to do, which means we need to be comfortable with one another, and I need to be as clear as possible. So with this one, you are getting ready by taking a look at both the syllabus information, some other things, and also the main chapter that we're using. There's actually 2. Chapter 2 is Remembering an Event, which gives you the basic guidelines for the paper. It has kind of an open-ended framework. They all sort of work that way. Sometimes I focus in a little bit more and give you some guidance on that. Other times I don't. With this one, you clearly will be working with what they give you in that particular chapter. The other chapter that I work with is chapter 11, and that's because some people, because they've had a lot of background, already know their way around the essay with thesis and topic sentences and paragraphs and things of that nature. So I make sure that you know that those are the things I'm looking for right off the bat. And feel free to ask questions about that as well. But there's always, it's sort of delivered like a sandwich. There's some preparation points to make sure that you've got the key parts of the readings that I think you'll need in order to be able to do well with the paper. There's always an open book quiz, and that way if you're struggling with any element of comprehension, or if you're just not clear on what the book is asking you to do there, that's an excellent time to stop me and ask. And again, we can do it via Teams and talk face-to-face. You can meet with me in my office, or we can do the email thing, whatever's working. But I even include evenings and weekends if it's a Teams thing. Sometimes you can just download Teams right to your cell and talk to me while you're on the run. For me, I like Teams because I live near the water. That sounds really lovely, but it also can interfere with my cell coverage. So sometimes Teams gives me better reception because we're fighting with Rogers over here. Rogers. Shh. I'm not going to say anything mean. Moving along, so then you've got the second assignment in the sandwich, besides this open book quiz and some background stuff there, is because people are very sensitive about grades and really want clear guidelines on it. I give you a former student's paper and I have you look at the guidelines and the grade sheet that I use and talk about what you think that student did and where you would place it, and we kind of compare notes. There's not really a wrong answer here, but hopefully you'll feel more comfortable on how I would be measuring things. I like to keep it fairly simple, right, where I have a list of the criterion, or each criterion, and then like a top score, a 4 is exceeds, a 3 is meets, and a 1 or a 2 is some sort of concerns. There's some sort of spotty aspect, or maybe you just did the best you could to get in whatever you could to meet the deadline. That's important too. Whatever it is, but I try and keep those measures fairly simple. And again, we can always talk about it in conference if you need to. So for the 100 points, and again, each module or unit has 100 points to it. There's usually a prep part that's around 25 points, some kind of second assignment that is really going to give you some rehearsal or basis for the other piece, and then the essay that appears in that chapter itself. So in this case, it's a remembered event essay. And because it's a 12-week version, you're really working off of the one assignment. So make sure if you have questions about that one that you ask me, because as I'm looking at the due dates here, your preparation materials due this Sunday the 24th. October 1st is when you take a look at the other student's essay and make the comments on that and do that part of the assignment. Also, you'll be giving me maybe your plan for what you will be writing about, not a draft of the paper. That's due October the 1st. And then the essay itself is going to be due on the 8th. And from then on, we start using sources and things get ecology, and that's really what you want from what I can tell. But as you go through the schedule, you'll see it lays out the points. It also lays out the due dates, so you can sort of expect what's coming up. Please contact me if you have any questions. I hope that helps. I'm looking forward to whatever it is that you turn in this Sunday. And meanwhile, email me with questions or arrange for a Teams conference or an in-person conference. And I'm looking forward to it. You all seem like lovely, lovely people. Take good care now. Bye-bye.